Here at FranchiseBlast, we work with over 100 franchisors, and several of them have asked, how can I run virtual visits on the FranchiseBlast platform because I can no longer travel to my franchisees as often because of travel limitations or because I've got fewer FBCs to support my whole franchise network. So in this video, we'll talk about how you can run franchise virtual visits here on the platform. So first off, everybody knows FranchiseBlast can do field visits, field audits in the system. So you can go in and kind of go through that checklist, compliance checklist that you've developed. And so the nice thing about our platform is you can go in and kind of identify what your system-wide weaknesses are. So I can filter and show me all the standards that have under 65% compliance and discover things like, oh, suggesting promo items is a weakness. So I'm going to coach my network as a whole. I'll train them to address this weakness and start upselling a bit better. But so in the new environment, these compliance checklists may not apply as directly. So a lot of franchisors are creating new questionnaires that are maybe more coaching driven about certain elements they can review over the phone with a franchisee, such as have they completed various training or are they running certain marketing campaigns. So these are things they can evaluate remotely. So the coaches can still operate like this. They don't need to be in the field. And if applicable, they can still upload some pictures if they have them. Now, for compliance specifically, a lot of franchisors are turning to self-assessment. So this is something a franchisee would go in and basically launch on themselves. It's an audit of themselves. And so the franchisee or the store manager fills it out, and then the franchisor can review what has been submitted. And we even have things like a picture feed that you can take any standard, such as did you put any physical distancing guidelines on the platform? And if so, you can review all these pictures at once. But the interesting thing here is we can actually automate this process with polling. So our polling module, instead of just waiting on each individual to launch an audit, we're able to go in and say, have this questionnaire filled out by everybody. So we push out the survey. They don't need to be logged into the platform to fill it out. And you can track who's filled it out, who's begun working on it, and who are we still waiting on. So all this information helps you build up that compliance aspect of the franchise business coach's work. Now, additionally to this, the trend in the franchise space is to move towards coaching. So for coaching, we actually have the concept of a franchisee scorecard, and this is to make data-driven decisions. So that here I'm looking at this unit versus the whole system last month, and I can compare different metrics from sales to percentages of online orders to NPS scores, Google reviews, labor costs, food costs, and a bunch of our other indicators. So the franchisors define these indicators, and then you can see that, okay, for sales, you had $51,000. That is 13% better than the franchise average, so that's good. You're the top performer, but you're 46% less than the franchise average on online orders, which is a new trend right now, and everybody's pushing this. So this is a big revenue opportunity for you. So by looking at this dashboard of holistic view of the health of that unit, you can develop an action plan based on this data. And so if you want to be a bit more formal about this, you can actually go forward and create a business plan on our platform where you go in, you define your objectives, let's say pivoting to the new operating environment. And some of these things are around keeping your variable costs lower. So you kind of collaboratively define this plan with franchisees saying, oh, you need to keep your labor costs under 20%, etc. And all the initiatives you'll be doing are defined in here. And so the nice thing is once you've defined collaboratively this plan with the franchisee at the start of the quarter or the start of the year, you can then on your future calls with the franchisees on those virtual visits, go in and perform a check-in. So this brings back up that plan and saying, okay, we need to pivot to the new operating environment. Here are the things we said you would do. Did you implement the franchisor's new workflows? Oh yeah, I did that. Check off that initiative. And then you go to the key results that are measurable of, let's say, keeping your labor costs under 20%. And so you can say, I'm on track and I'm 2/3 done through the period and I'm at 18%, and kind of just do that check-in for that specific key result. So you go through all of the items from the business plan this way. So you don't need to have this level of sophistication. You can still go back to just filling out a simple business plan on an audit if you want to keep it simple, to take a snapshot. But the real value of this is to have a living document that continues on throughout that quarter, that year, that you come back to. So overall, FranchiseBlast has a suite of tools that help with both compliance and coaching, and we'll be happy to discuss how we can set up the best set of modules for you in your own environment. So here on your dashboard, you'll be able to see things about your self-assessments, your sales, or any of the elements in FranchiseBlast you're using. If you want to know more, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thanks.